Hey everyone, Graphics Works here, and we are back with another lawnmower sim vlog. We have a very small yard to do here. I could probably do a chunk of it with the mower, actually. Let's see how much of this we can do with the mower, because this is going to be a very small area. Let me go ahead and put this back real quick, hold on. That. Get on vehicle. Start engine. But, I hope everyone's doing well. Um, it's been an interesting month. A lot has changed. We need this scrap. What do we need this at? Um, we need this at between 6 and 7. Okay, there we go. But a lot has happened in the last month. I've picked up a lot more hours at Pizza Hut, which has been nice. We've also um we finally got our SurfSafe training done, so I am officially SurfSafe certified once again. I was certified before, but my certification for that expired, I believe, last year and during the summer. So now we've got that done and dealt with again. So I've got that good until, I think, I got it up on the wall, but I think it says until like of December of 2030. So we've got a good ways before we have to worry about that becoming an issue once again. But yeah, we're SurfSafe certified again, so that's pretty cool, I guess, if you're interested in that kind of thing. But it is a requirement for all management to have that. I haven't officially started doing of my own shifts. I've done like a bunch of management stuff, learning the paperwork, because the system has changed since I've last been a manager over at a Pizza Hut. So that's all still very new, and I absolutely hate it. It's a lot different than what it used to be. Before it was a lot easier. Like they've made something simpler, but at the same time, they've made extra unnecessary steps, I feel like, as part of it, as part of the new process. Um, but it's whatever, I guess. It's not that big of a deal. It's just something new, something I just got to get used to. Um, there is one thing that I really want to talk about during this, and it's going to have happened about 2 weeks beforehand, but we have hit 400 followers on Twitch. A couple of my coworkers ended up following me, because we were talking about gaming and streaming and stuff the one day that I was closing. And so they decided to follow me, so they made us hit our 400 follower goal, so we had a 24-hour stream. It should have been on here on YouTube as well as on Kick and Twitch. So if you guys aren't following me over on those platforms, you can as well, since we've just recently started those, and I would appreciate the encouragement by following me over on those platforms as well. It would mean the world to me if you did, but if you don't, that's fine too. It's understandable. Some people have their preference as far as what platform they want to be dedicated to, and that's okay. We all have our reasons. And there goes that train. Now the train's gone. Yeah, so that has happened. And so you guys should be able to go back and watch that, but it's what we do is for every 100 followers we get on Twitch, we do a 24-hour stream. And for this goal reward, we played a horror game, and so as you guys know, I'm not a big fan of horror games, just because like I don't like my blood pressure getting real high and my anxiety and shit. So, but there were a few games that I picked that I thought looked interesting. A couple of them I saw one of my other streamer friends play, so I figured I would give them a chance and see if I would like them or not. So I did choose those, and also because they are kind of shorter games, so I was like, you know what, if we're gonna do a 24-hour stream, we'll do like a handful of like small horror games. I figured that would be good. to do. So there is that. That happened on the 21st. So yeah, about 2 weeks ago from the time this actually goes up and live. What else? Oh, I guess in along with that, like we are doing the multi-streaming stuff more often. I've only been doing about like one stream a week for YouTube stuff just because like I don't know which games are allowed and which ones aren't allowed as far as like YouTube's TOS goes. Like I know like obviously there are certain ones that are like obviously no go, but like certain ones that do like more blood and gore, I don't want those to necessarily be on YouTube per se. Like I've had like the Darksider series and that's got like a little bit, but it's not like real bad as far as the blood and gore goes. So it's not, I'm not as concerned about those. Yeah, I couldn't really find anything. I got up like another percent, so we'll just go with that and we'll just finish this one off. Alright, there was this one. I did not like this one. I don't like these really small jobs. They're not very fun. They're just kind of like you're in and out. Like it's or like even the ones where it's just like pick up trash only. Oh wow. I don't like that overhead view like that. I don't like that. Yeah. I had one collision. What did I have collision with? Must have been whenever I was getting stuck. Okay, whatever. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to go over this twice. Current grass is 21 to 35 centimeters, and we need to get it down to 7. Okay. This is gonna be a big payout. It's $1,000, and it's gonna be a tough project. I like this one. This will be a good one. No, we'll have to just start at 10 and then go over it again. So, warning, I'm at the wrong cut height. Yeah. I'm starting at 10. I'm gonna go back over it. I don't want to hear it. Okay, there we go. Now we got this all straightened out. So, I guess there are some spots that we'll have to go slow or go over a second time, but as of right now, this is fine. Just being like right at the cut height that we need to be. This is super tall grass. I have a feeling we're going to have to do a lot of dumping. I have a feeling we're going to do a lot of dumping with our grass clippings. But, the multi-streaming's been going okay. Not a whole lot. I don't feel like it's really done too much. I've made some changes for Kick. I made some changes for Kick, so it's helped with the, removing a lot of the bot spam. Over there, so that's been nice. But yeah, I'm super excited because at the time of recording this, it hasn't happened yet, but it's getting ready to come up for the 24-hour stream. So I'm super excited for that. That's going to be, it'll be nice to have hit that goal finally. And so I'm excited for what the next 100 followers will bring us. But the games that I planned on playing, which by this point you guys are going to already know, is Bad Cheese, Dollmare, Silent Still. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Silent Still, so ow. That looked interesting. So I wanted to give those a try. I was actually really excited for Bad Cheese in and of itself, just because like it is one of those that is it's got that like 1980s cartoon hand-drawn aesthetic, like how Cuphead has, and how what I'm waiting for Mouse PI. I'm really excited for Mouse PI, but it isn't out yet. There's still not a release date for that here in 2025. I'm expecting it to probably come out in December, I would imagine. That is my assumption. Has been no notice of that as of right now, but it says sometime in 2025 is when it's supposed to come out. So I'm just going off of the assumption that it's probably going to be in December. I'm just going to ignore it telling me that I'm cutting at the wrong height. Because this is the highest I can go, and this stuff is super thick. It is literally 3 times higher than what my cut height is. And I can always go back and fix it. Um, what else there is the oh, if you guys haven't like the thing is I wrote stuff down to talk about for this one. Unlike the last one that I was completely unprepared for. This one like I feel like there's not as much to talk about other than just like complaining about work and complaining that I'm working again, which there's no there's no need to complain about that. But I want to do more with the Discord. Um, I just haven't figured out how I want to do that and how that really like ties into my new work schedule. Really, because huh? What? What? My okay. I think it was like I had a stick or something. But I don't know how to make that all fit in the way that I wanted to. Like I want to do more stuff with the Discord. I've made changes, like I've added stuff. I still want to try like movie nights, but that just hasn't fit into the schedule as well as I would like it to. Um, so I don't really know what I want to do about that at this point. Like it still sounds like a good idea and like a fun thing to do. I cannot dedicate the time to it um currently. But there is stuff like creative writing. I have like 3 creative writing projects on there. I haven't touched them in a little bit. I want to get back into touching up on a couple of them. The 112 Days of Hell is like a short one shot like autobiography of like whenever I was a kid. If you want to read that, you don't have to. I'm not forcing anyone to read that. It's very sad. But the other things are like the Modern Minecraft movie was like a concept idea. I was like, you know what? I'll just throw this to the wind and see if anyone wants to like work on it. But the idea is like when the Minecraft movie came out, I was like, okay, this is good for vanilla Minecraft, but what if it was modded? And you like go on the storyline of like a group of friends who play Minecraft, and they're like, we're gonna play on our modded Minecraft server, blah blah blah, and their one friend gets sucked in, and so they have like all these different mods in it, like say like Da Vinci's vessels or mechanism, thermal, the immersive engineering, uh, Electro Bob's Wizardry. Some of the older Minecraft mods, but have it like mixed in with like some of the newer mods as well, like the Create mod or I don't know. I just think it'd be like a cool idea to like incorporate the modded side of things into it as like a fun little like fan made story, I guess. And then Lucky Loser, that's been something I want to get back into at some point. I just been having writer's block, and I also want to touch up more on chapter 1 a little bit for it. But that is my wannabe anime. I've completely missed my shot here. That's my wannabe anime story that I would like to. My story that I want to get turned into an anime adaptation. Because I think it'd be a cool indie story to have made. It's supposed to be like a slice of life realistic fantasy. Like your MC, he's on hard times and he decides to play the lottery and wins the lottery. And so he he ends up trying to spend all the money before he kills himself, essentially. Um, that's not the best description of it, but that's essentially what it is in a nutshell. Uh, to keep it in the shortest way possible. But if you guys would like me to, well, if you join the Discord, link for it's in the description down below if you want to read it yourself. But if you guys actually want to see me, like, make a video and like do like the first like couple pages as like an introductory thing, because like my first, I think it's the first 2 pages is really good. It's a very good. I try to give as much. I wrote it like a script, so it's not a very good like story to read literature wise. But I tried to put down pen to paper everything that I was visualizing in my head as much as possible. So there are a bunch of parts in there where it's like in parentheses, like give descriptive clearance of like, oh, you see these people walking their dog at a park. You see a frisbee thrown, blah blah blah. It's air's crisp and cold, or blah blah blah, yada yada yada. All those fancy descriptive like things that give the minute details more depth to the scenes that are taking place. Um, but part of it as like what I would want to do as like the anime adaptation for it is that I would like to I would like to do it like Millionaire Detective. So if you have seen that, you know what I'm talking about. But essentially what happens in the Millionaire Detective, Balance Unlimited is the full name of it. There is a guy who's like comes from a rich family. He wants to be a detective as part of like a local Japan task force, and so he does. And so he uses his money to like get anything and everything he wants from his like Jarvis AI assistant or whatever, right? And so at the end of each episode, they're like, this is how much money was spent in damages, in fuel, in reimbursements, money spent on like an attack helicopter. And I think that was just a really cool to like show like how much money was spent for all the things that took place in said episode. And I would like to do that for mine where it's like, oh, here's your starting balance, and then like have it slowly dwindle away until the last episode when it finally reaches zero, and you see how much is left at the end. Well, obviously the answer to that zero, but you get to see like at the end of each episode like what was spent and how much was spent during said episode as it like takes down to zero. So I always thought that would be like a cool thing to do. So that is something I would like to have done as part of that. But I've had a lot of people say that they would be very interested in watching it if it was actually done as an adaptation. My first chapter is really good. My pilot episode essentially is meant to be like an hour long. I don't want this to be like, I could probably just like turn this into a one shot and be like an anime movie instead, where it's just like 2 hours long, but I don't want it to be that, right? What I want it to be is a slice of life. So the idea is that I want you to have like this very dramatic first episode, right? I want it to be very dramatic, very suspenseful, to like set the tone and pace for none of the anime. And what I mean by that is I want it to set the tone and pace, being like, this is what's on the line, but then it just turns into, oh, it's just another slice of life. Things happen as a day-to-day thing. They go on whatever trips or adventure. They don't have to worry about their finances, right? Everything's just kind of fine and hunky-dory. But when it gets closer to the end, like maybe some weird like shenanigans take place, like maybe someone like tries to find out they have money and they try to get mugged and whatever, blah blah blah. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. But what would happen is that as you get to the last episode, you are brought back to the first episode, and you're reminded why all this stuff has been happening in the first place, because this first episode is the reason. So I think that would be a nice send off, because it's like it's supposed to like throw you for a curveball. Like you had something very suspenseful, then it turns into something nonchalant, for lack of a better term, nonchalant for like the rest of it, because I'd like it to be like a 24 episode anime, because that would give you more than enough time to be completely awestruck in what's going on. Plus also there's absolutely no way 12 episodes would be able to go through the amount of money that this guy is winning, because the amount he's winning is I forget the exact number, but it's like, I think it's around like it's either like 400 million or it's like $4 billion. Um, like I said, I don't remember the exact number. I'd have to go back and look, but it's at least 400,000 minimum, and I not 400,000, 400 million minimum. So I don't feel like it's possible to go through $400 million in 12 episodes without like a substantial amount of it just being like stolen. And I don't want that to be part of it because that feels lazy, um, as far as like spending money goes and like trying to get that number down faster. So I don't like that idea at all. Um, so that's why I would want it to be a much larger. Oh crap! I completely forgot that the bucket's full. I have not been paying attention to that. Like I keep getting this warning for the grass is cut at the wrong height, but it's not telling me that the collector's full. But yeah, I think that would just be like a really fun idea. Like I said, that is in the Discord, as well as like also with the Discord, you guys can like do polls whenever I post a poll, usually for like Mario Mondays. Well, at least I was doing polls for Mario Mondays. Not so much now. Now it's just turned into like, if my schedule allows me to stream on a Monday, then I will stream on Monday. And here lately, as you guys have seen, I've just been playing Fortune Street. Just because it's Monopoly. It's knockoff Monopoly, and it's fun. It's kind of, it's different in the sense of like, unlike regular Monopoly, there's also like a stock market involved. So you can like invest your funds into certain districts, and as you develop and improve those districts by buying shops and upgrading them, with your money, you can improve your stocks, which means you can have more money, like have as like a sandbag essentially. And so I've had some good times with that, where I've been like storing a whole bunch of my my money into like one district, and then doing what I can to buy out that whole district and hold a what they call domination in that district, and then using that to skyrocket my funds into oblivion, so that way I can win and get first place. Because there's two sets of maps. It's Dragon Quest and then Mario. But what I want to do is, I think you have to get silver and gold, or you have to get gold in order to unlock a third set of maps. I have never, I've only played the game like a small handful of times. This is actually the first time ever that I've actually like taken the game seriously enough to like try to want to beat it. So I have no idea what the third set of maps are even going to be. And we just unlocked Princess Peach as an S-class character to fight against. Because the thing is, like, unlike how some games are where like you could like rank up a character, starts as like F class, and you can make them stronger into an A class or whatever. This is just certain characters are their class. So like, and although they are their class, I feel like that's very misleading. Because some characters will play like an A class even though they're ranked as like a D. And so I haven't been a super big fan of that kind of like deception a little bit on it. But aside from that deceptiveness, it's been fun. Like I said, it's like if you enjoy Monopoly, you would enjoy Fortune Street. And so, but also with the Discord, because I'm getting on a tangent at this point. In the Discord as well, you guys can also know when I go live, or when the anticipated time to go live is. Also, if things change for whatever reason, like if I'm too tired because of a long day of work, or if something else comes up and it forces me to be a little bit late for whatever reason, whatever, because life happens, it happens all the time. There is that where you can be notified when those things change, or if you guys just want to ask me a question that you don't want to have like in the comment section on YouTube, you guys can always just DM me. My DMs aren't closed to anyone unless if it becomes a problem, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But so far it hasn't, and most people that have DM'd me directly haven't been a problem. There have been a few that have been problems, just because it's the whole graphic designer bullshit, and that's something that pisses me off. That is something that pisses me off a lot, actually. Um, because my name is literally Graphics Works. So why in the fuck? You know what? Hold on. This. Shut that off. Why in the fuck? My name is Graphics Works. Who the hell do you think you are trying to ask me if I want your shit? If I want shit, I'll make my own shit. Stop fucking asking me. I'm gonna leave it at that. If it continues, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But a lot of times it just becomes an insta block. Usually is what ends up happening. But there's been a couple times that have been nice. There's only been one that I paid for, and it's because I felt sorry for him, because they pulled a certain card, and I'm not gonna say what that card is, just because, for privacy's sake, but also because, like, it's not your guys' business as to why it was done the way it was done. And I feel like that's a fair argument. I mean, I got something for a very, very reduced price. And what they gave me, like, I was happy with it, but the way it looked just looked like they just threw it into a AI generator with, like, ChatGPT. That's the other reason why, like, a lot of those graphic designers, a lot of their shit, unless if you can actually tell that is done by hand, a lot of it's the exact same thematic style. Like, they all went to the same guru, bought their book, and all have the exact same design, but that exact same design is just done through ChatGPT. So that's the other reason why I choose not to invest in other graphic designers, because I know if there's a degree of professionalism that can prove that it is their work, I would rather endorse that versus a degree of professionalism that just looks not sloppy, because I know everyone's just calling it all AI slop, but where it is pretty obvious when it's one versus the other, and no thought or care has actually been put into it. Okay, so that seemed to, like, work a little bit. We did manage to get from like 20% up to 73%, so I am content with that. So now we just got all this weed eating to do. So let's hope that the weed eating knocks out another 20%, because there's a lot of weed eating to do. I can't think of what else I want to talk. Well, this is gonna be after that. This is gonna be the first Monday of the month. I mean, not Monday, Sunday. First Sunday of the month. So this will be after the fact as well. Aside from the 24-hour stream, we'll try to have like the Halloween stream, which I need to do better, like coming up with stuff to talk about. But I don't know what to talk about, honestly. Like, if you guys have some ideas of what I could or should talk about, or like, if you have questions, maybe that's what I do for the next one. Like, leave your questions in the comments down below, and I will answer all of the questions that are posted in the comments um, in the next one. In the next month update, in the next vlog, I will answer all of your questions. I think that'd be a pretty good one. Like, you're gonna ask me 99% of questions. I'll say that. Because there are like some questions that, unless if they're like too personal, I will not answer, for safety reasons. But, aside from that, like, I'll answer pretty much any question, just about. I've got no secrets to hide. Most of my information is public anyway. I say most is like a vague term. We're only at 76. You know what? I'll probably just take the hit, honestly, because this has not been a good. I thought this was actually going to be a pretty good and easy map. This has been way worse than I thought it would be. Like, this has genuinely been a very difficult map. And it's not supposed to be. And I blame the development team for that. For their grass physics. Because there's no way to distinguish the two, and if I make all of the old lines, like I said, all the old lines overwrite the new ones. Like, you can see all my horizontal passes. Any vertical passes I made, you cannot tell. It all just looks the same. Which, like, this is the side where I did all the horizontal passes. But when we go back the other way, you'll see that you can see this one pass. The rest of this, all you see is just these passes. You don't see any of this. Because of that, you cannot tell what you did and what you didn't do. So, note to self, if we ever do this one again, just throw it to the one line and never freaking touch it and just let it be. Because the whole thing of like, oh, you may have to go back and do multiple passes. No, don't even freaking deal with that. Just do the one and done, because this is stupid. We should be at like a lot higher number. We should be closer to like 80% or 90%. And we're at 78. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna put too much stock into this one. Leave location. Yeah. What? What do you mean? I have it stored. What, is this not far in enough? Is that the issue? I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine. It's cut. It's a lot lower than what it was. Penalties and fines. Collision fees. Incorrect cut height penalty. Blah, blah, blah. No, whatever. I'll take the penalty. Instead of getting 1,000, we got 843. I'm okay with that. I can hire people? What? Rowan Hayes, available to hire. Loves BLT sandwich. Can't look up. Hates pirates. Drinks too many energy drinks. Wages per week, 350. Experience proficient. Apprentice. Has 2 left hands. Loves it when a plan comes together. Can sleep whenever they want. Thinks mushrooms should be banned. Stormed Area 51 before it was cool. Okay, interesting. And I guess having apprentices would allow people, allow me to get more money per week. Um, they will pay a weekly salary of $350. Accept. Employees need vehicle equipment to complete contracts. You need to have one of each available to them before you employ them. Be sure you still want to employ the applicant. Accept. Teamwork makes the dream work. Base shop. Let's go. Okay, so now I have this to where he does one and I do one. So do I have to do this for both of us? Or does he does his and I just do mine? Alright, I think this will be a quick, short one that we can do. Pretty easy. I'm just going to try to run through this one. Because I'm curious about what happens, like if I have to do both contracts, one is me and one is my employee, or if my employee just, Jesus, what the hell did I boost like that? Or if my employee just does one and does it perfectly, or does it like a percentage of the way correctly. Because if I have to do like all the contracts as myself or as my employee, that's going to be not annoying, but that just means that there's going to be a lot more lawns for me to go through as we play this. Also, I think I might actually like do one of these live one day. I don't know. Would you guys like that if I did these live? Instead of having these pre-recorded? I think that would be kind of fun to do. So that way it's it forces me to kind of talk about things a little bit more, and I can talk about it in the moment instead of like trying to like, I guess I still talk about this like in the moment, but instead of it being chopped up, you guys get to like watch the full process. I don't know. Maybe you guys like the full process. Maybe you prefer the being able to see like the time lapse. I don't know. Because this game does not do the time lapse. It just does like the before and after pictures, really. I mean, either option is fine. Like, all I gotta do is just set as like, I just set aside time and I do it. Just that with the live stream, it I could probably make doing live streaming work if need be, because it would just go to like Twitch and Kick as well, and then they would also get the those updates as well. But I don't know. I kind of like having this as like a YouTube only thing. And in order for me to like stream to YouTube, I also have to have my stream go to at least Twitch bare minimum. So I don't know. If you guys, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, I know most of you will probably just say do whatever you think's right, but like at the same time, like I want, how do I say this? I want to be able to still provide something, and it's nice to be able to get the feedback instead of just bouncing stuff off myself all the time. I like getting your guys' feedback when I can. Like the other day, there was someone that actually commented on one of the Paper Mario videos. It was like, "You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work." And I'm just like, well, I'm glad someone appreciates my Paper Mario playthroughs, because like, it doesn't seem like it takes a lot to do, which honestly, the editing is the biggest chunk of it, because the thing is, like, I'm not very good with voices. I try to be okay. I still suck a lot. I've never taken a voice acting class a day in my life, and that obviously shows. But I just do it more or less for shits and giggles, and I don't practice it at all. I just kind of let it be what it is. I do think it would be kind of cool to improve upon it and see if there's something there for me. But I know that's the big hit thing right now, is that everyone wants to be a voice actor. Everyone wants to try that. It's like how, like 5 or 10 years ago, it was like everyone wants to be a streamer. Like even nowadays, everyone still wants to be a streamer. Everyone wants to be able to do that and make that be their thing. Everyone wants to do content creation. Everyone wants to be a TikToker. But like, it's just the next thing in circulation that's the trend is everyone wants to be a voice actor, and that's just the whole hive mind. Uh, Humanity is just a hive mind, right? That's that's all it really is. There is, how do I say this? There is 7 billion people in the world, right? But there are 12 of you somewhere on the earth. And it may not be you exactly. It may be like someone who looks similar or someone who has the same mannerisms as you. They're not exactly you. I mean, unless if you're like identical twin, or if you cloned yourself, if you're rich enough to do something like that. But I mean, like, there are people that I currently am I stuck? Oh, there we go. There are people that I currently work with that are that fit the same like criteria, whether that be like physically or like personality wise, as like people that I've worked with before at Pizza Hut, right? And so it's like every town has their own Joshua or Caleb, right? Everyone has their own Brittany. Everyone has their own Samantha, right? Like, there are people that just meet those certain, not like cliches, meet those certain stereotypes. There we go. That's the word, stereotypes. Everyone like fits a certain stereotype, and whether they do that on purpose or not, honestly, I have no idea. But the whole like phrase that "don't judge a book by its cover" doesn't really fit a whole lot nowadays anymore. For the most part, you pretty much can judge a book and be, depending on your intellect level, can be anywhere from like 75 to 80, I would say 87% correct on who they are, what their interests are in, more or less, to a small degree. Not like be able to get it spot on, but like, oh, you may like this, you may like that. You more than likely probably have this taste in music. You more than likely probably have like children, regardless of age. Right. Because anyone could have a kid nowadays and you don't even know it. Like, there are people still getting knocked up while they're in high school that do that. And then there are people that don't have a kid and they're in their 40s. So, I mean, or having their first kid in their 40s even. Yeah, you just never know. But there are a handful of times where people can like fit that description. There's also like all the drug abusers or crackheads, right? They obviously fit their criteria more than well enough. And I think another good example of this is I believe Unis Honest. For those of you that were there, congratulations. For those of you that don't know what that is, sucks to be you. There was a video that they posted. I don't remember what it was exactly that they were doing, because they were doing a lot of different things. But one of the things that they said was like, you don't think we don't read your comments? You don't think we haven't come up with those ideas ourselves and just chose not to do them for one reason or another? It's like, if you've come up with the idea, more than likely someone else also has come up with the idea. It's just a matter of who is willing to jump on that idea to do it and get it done versus it just being a thought, right? And so that's the whole idea of like the hive mind, is that like everyone has thought of it, no one has jumped on it till someone does, and then they'll take the credit for it. And people will be like, oh, I thought about that like 10 years ago. Why didn't I do anything about it? Because if you did, the other people would be saying the same thing about you. It's just the way things are. That's the way life is. If you choose not to pursue your thoughts or your passions, you're not going to do much of anything. And if you're content with not doing much of anything, then good for you. I mean, there's not much more to really say on that, other than you reap what you sow, and you sleep in the bed you lie in. Just like mine. Mine's just a mattress on the floor. So I sleep in it, I lie in it, and I pass the fuck out. And that's all she wrote. Finally got that section done. But yeah. Maybe that's what we go around this first. Maybe that's what we do for the next one. So this is the November one. So yeah, for the December one, let's try shooting for a live stream of this. I think we'll do that. Unless if something comes up and I can't for whatever reason, like if I have to like if I get called into work, or if I get called to get help with the billboard company, I guess, would be another reason why that might happen. So I guess that's a good a positive side to these, is that I can record these just about whenever my schedule feels like it, versus like it being locked into a certain. All right, let's see what happens here. Yes, exit contract. Do we have to do both places, or do we just get the one guy to do it and call it good? There's that one. Fuel really low. Yeah. The hell, value okay, so they just do it on their own. I guess this is like their experience bar where they can do better. Penalties and fines. What the hell? Collision. They had one collision. They tore a bunch of. Did they not do? Oak? Why did you not pick shit up? Why did you just? Okay. The hell, my guy? You're supposed to be proficient. You're supposed to. Interesting. Well, he's turned a little bit of money, and I'm gonna have to do something about these loans. So, this has been another lawnmower vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and again, let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on some of the things that we talked about during the video. And I think if we used the next one to like answer your questions and stuff, I think that'd be pretty fun. Whether it be for a live stream or if it's a pre-recorded thing, I don't care. Either way. But as always, try to have a better day than yesterday, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.